I did it yesterday and I did it again today. I swore I clicked go live. I swore I did. Only to realize, looking up at the screen, I'm like, wait, but there's nobody here? What's going on? I did not click the go live button. Old age sucks, doesn't it? Because I really, really swear I clicked go live. Anyways. Hey Roxanne, good morning. Come on in the room, guys. Yeah, I made a boo-boo this morning again. I did the same thing yesterday. And I clicked it again and I really thought I clicked go live. Anywho's, good morning, children of the corn. Hey Shantae, good morning. Roxanne, good morning. Nissy, morning Linda, morning Keisha. Come on in, guys. I'm not even started yet and I'm already laughing. Listen, hold on, let me share first. So as you come into the live, please click the share button and invite your friends, etc. to join us and be part of what we do here on a daily basis. It's a judgment-free zone, yeah? We respect each other's opinions and we will talk, and when it's time to be serious, you send me some info about the cake mystery. I find out it was real take liberty with me, yes? You send me anywhere to bring back cake for you, sir? What is this? You see why I need to take regular breaks? Because this is what I have to put up with on a daily basis. So, for my own mental, if I don't take breaks, I'll come here every day grumpy and cussing and agitated, and because Salvonary and Jackie Douglas, etc. Anywho's. Good morning, Kiza. Good morning. Good morning, Andrea. That's what I want to know as well, Andrea. And you a special guest of honor. Okay. Well, what can I say? My business is tourism. I guess when you're out there, it's gonna be out there. Even when you don't put anything out there, it's out there, right? Andrea, later. That's all I'm saying to you. Good morning, Crony. Good morning, Adriel McMillan. How are you? Good morning, Melvin Brown. Glow out to my eyes. Wrong Wendy person. It's only this hour I've seen you today. Nope. No, Andrea. It's not. It's not. So, hey, Shauna. Good morning. So, Christelle, good morning. Come on in, guys. Come on in. So, I just saw Crony sent me. Hey, Luke. Morning, Dylan. Dylan, you behaving? Says life. You don't put it on, put it on makeup on set. No, I was. You know, sometimes you just feel like something walking on you. I felt like something was walking on my face, so I was just doing that to make sure it's not some sugar ants or something. Hey, Jenalyn, hope all is well. Nakisha, good morning. Junies, good morning. Come on in the room, guys. And those of you, Naya, morning. Naya, been back yesterday. Where you come out? First, you have your own way. So, I just got a message here, and it seems as though one of the candidates for Change Hope for Grenada, Caracopiti Martinique, has put out a disclaimer. One Shad Bethel says, ladies and gentlemen, please note, and he put not in caps, that I am not a candidate MP caretaker for the constituency of St. David for the CHGC Party. Please be guided according. Ah, Lord, listen. What Nancy Benjamin usually say? If Grenada burn, bury me in the ashes. I don't think there's any other place like. So how? Glendolyn, morning. Hey Floyd. Marriage show, ants, not no ants. The after effect of living in life. Marriage show. Yeah, now people want to do now. Morning, Shawnee. that is why I asked the question yesterday if this was serious thing or if people just putting people face on flyer and making mawet. Look, the gentleman put out a disclaimer. The young man put out a disclaimer. He was, because the message clearly states Carol Alexander Jones and the CHGCP Party is proud to. Hold on, I have something to do. I'm fighting up, but the because they're working. Hold on. I was trying to. All right, much better. So, Carol Alexander Jones and the CHGC Party is proud to formally introduce the general public or parliamentary member candidate for the St. David constituency of the state of Grenada for the upcoming general election, Mr. Shadrach Martin Bethel. All of his government names. Mr. Shadrach Martin Bethel. And 1 hour ago, the gentleman has since put out a formal notice that he is not a candidate MP caretaker for the constituency of St. David for the CHGCP Party. So please be guided accordingly. Okay, well, I guess that answers the questions of if this was a serious thing, because I heard somebody else say they have no idea why you reaching St. David's business and he's from Petit Martinique. Oh, he's from Petit. Yeah, the Bethels are from Petit Martinique. Bethels, Gay, etc. They're from Petit Martinique. Once you make a political comment and you're not for yellow or green, you automatically run in for CHGP or whatever they call it. And how Flying Flint Ridge? What's Flying Flint constituency? How Flint Enila Morning? Flint is from Carriacou, and Flint is the candidate. Flint is what? See missing money. Esau is northwest. So he's where is hey Peter Joseph? Where is what's his name? Where is Clint supposed to be running? Anyways, they go figure it out. I guess before the day is through, we're gonna see a couple more names popping up, or we're gonna see a couple more disclaimers. Because I really thought these people were aware that they're candidates and they're part of this party, big flyer announcing their constituency and what have you, St. George Northwest. So, Molly, morning, and thank you so much, Molly. I got it. The gentleman said he was your uncle. He just came and he said, I drop it. Molly said, I dropped that for you. That's not about it. Anyway, the only person who I see taking this thing serious is Wendell up in St. Mark. The guy with the nice shoe. The guy with the nice shoe is the only one that I see well, I shouldn't say taking it serious, but that is more kicks to him. So I am still baffled as to how these people, like, was it a pool? Did they just have a collection, or they went through Facebook and looked at people who's active on and just selected people ad hoc? How were they chosen? Anyway, you see them hunting, they're running for, I see money, go tell you better. Can't be running for Guam. But Guam have about not two or three candidates or caretakers for the same party. Hey Cam, morning. I'm sure I saw about 2 or 3 candidates in the same party for Guav. But then again, they say Guav is a big place. So you maybe have for up Guav Northeast, Guav West East, Guav Southeast, or something. They probably 4 constituencies within Guav, because I'm sure I saw about 2 or 3 people for Guav. But anyway, we waiting and see what's happening next. There's more crazy people outside than inside, because how? Like, I see all of them was commenting on the social live, so she could select them. Anyway, let's get on to the business of the day. So you guys saw the whole food and rum is my slogan. Issa, I need an interview. I want to be the first. I want to do the first interview, exclusive. Anybody have a contact? No, I'm supposed to have Issa contact. Yeah, let me make contact with Issa. Let me get the first exclusive interview as the new caretaker for St. George Northwest. Very first. Well, they have PM as a constituency too. That let me move on to Kartel, and that will pay me better. So y'all saw the whole ramblings with Kartel over the weekend with this event that was it Saturday, Saturday, and it's, as a matter of fact, it was slated for February, and based on the video that Kartel did on Saturday, he said himself, the promoter, and somebody else himself, his manager and lawyer, whoever, convinced the promoters to not do it on that Carnival Friday in Trinidad. Like he said, he didn't want to disrupt the culture. That Carnival is people's time to enjoy their soca music, so he didn't think it was the right time, yada, yada, yada. Fast forward to it being held on May 31st. Unfortunately, himself, Sizzler, and Molly, whatever her name is, did not perform. And I'm guessing it's the same issue. The contract, it was not fulfilled. Certain parts of it, rather. But what really shook us was the fact that Kartel's fee, his performance fee, was $1.35 million US dollars. 1.35 Donald Trump. And people were taking aback. They knew he was expensive, but didn't realize it was that expensive. And there's different arguments about it, that it's too expensive, yada yada. But my thing is, right, at the end of the day, if a man say his cabbage is $5, it's either I can afford the $5 cabbage, or I go hunting around and see if I could find a cabbage for, if I have $2.50 in my pocket, and I buy the $2.51 and I leave the $5 alone because I can't afford it. Some are saying he's not worth it. In his mind, he's worth it because there are other promoters booking him. He's been on several events. He's slated for St. Kitts, and now this has sort of opened a can of worms, because the folks in St. Kitts, last I heard, they were paying him like $4 million EC or something of the sort. So now people are up in arms, like, why are you paying one person all this money? I'm going to play a video, something I was looking at, Irish and Chin. They had this discussion. And I also saw Terry Lyons came out yesterday. She didn't really call his name, but she made it to do about not promoters, but artists, whether it's DJs and whoever. And she said that the people who charge the big names, who charge all sorts of weird prices, whatever, they make it hard for the smaller artists. Because sometimes, even though they might lower their price, you as a small artist, if you decide to call the same price, they'll be like, no, I'm not paying you, you're not worth it. But the big artists will name whatever price, and they want them, they'll pay it. Something to that effect. As he sort of asked the question, and it's something you hear all the time relating to DJs and, people in the entertainment industry, artists who would probably have a set. And I remember vividly when Vaughn came out and upped his price, because he believed that that's his worth. It's either you pay it or you don't. So you have to set your standard. Well, what you find a lot of the times, when you're trying to up your standard, up your price, somebody on the mind in chucking and be like, okay, I could give you that for 500. And I hear this with DJs all the time. You hear DJs saying, you know what? I'm not charging nothing under 1,000, or I'm charging 600 up the road, or 700, 800, depending on how much hours I have to think for. And then a DJ will come and choke the promoter and decide, listen, I could do that for you for 250, you know. So there's no set price across the board that everybody works with. Everybody have their own little price, so it's so there's a lot of pros and cons. So I want to share this video for a brief second with you guys to get a better understanding as to where I'm going with this conversation this morning. Ellen, good morning. Listen to this and tell me if you agree or you disagree.
The big problem is this. When the other reggae and dancehall artists understand that Vibes Cartel can command,
I'll just start it over.
there is a whole lot of problems about to erupt in our dancehall and reggae space. Among the problems, the one that I want to zone in on is pricing. Because of the recent situation that took place with dancehall artists Vibes Cartel and the Trinidad promoters, right, which Vibes Cartel didn't show up at the show, and it has now been revealed that the overall ticket for Vibes Cartel's performance was 1.35 million US dollars, right? It opens a can of worms. Because now, people figured that Cartel was expensive, but they didn't understand how expensive. Now, let me say this before I go further. Cartel will go down in history as the highest paid reggae and dancehall artist of all time. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know any other artist, right, that has commanded that type of money, right? So 1.35 million from Trinidad, right? And now St. Kitts has jumped in and they're like, oh, wait a minute, we're paying 4 million EC, which kind of approximately is like maybe, 100 and something, maybe 150,000 US dollars more, right, than what Trinidad paid. But in the midst of all of that, right, there's a bigger problem. The big problem is this. When the other reggae and dancehall artists understand that Vibes Cartel can command that type of money, they are ultimately going to raise their prices. There's no ifs, ands, or but about this. An artist that would normally ask for $80,000, and we're saying, boy, $80,000 is a whole lot of money, they're probably going to ask for $150,000, right? And now think about this. Artists that now have to do shows with Vibes Cartel, they're going to say, no, man, Cartel, I get $1 million+ for that show ya. Me need X amount of money, right? This is going to get out of hand, right? So even though everybody's zoning in on one situation, which would be Cartel versus the Trinidad promoter, there's a bigger thing erupting and you're not even looking at it. Dancehall and reggae artists, I don't care how much they love Vibes Cartel, I don't care how much they want to say they're in support of his career, right? It's all about money at the end of the day. And they're not going to want to know that promoters are willing to spend millions of dollars on one artist or $1 million+ on one artist and willing to give them 50,000, 100,000, 150,000. So an artist who's now charging, let's say 500,000, right? His price is going to go up, as well as the artist who's charging 100,000. His or her price is going to go up, as well as the one who's charging 60,000. Their price is going to go up. Just wait for it, and remember that Chin told you all of these booking fees are going to go up as a result of everybody finding out what Cartel is getting in the marketplace.
So here's my question though. Can the promoters afford to pay the fee that every artist will be calling for now if they decide to up their prices? Would they be able to? And wouldn't that trickle down to us, the patrons? That means you'll have to pay more. And if you can't afford to pay more, what you're going to find, you're going to have lots of flopped shows, right? Because if everybody decide, okay, Cartel is 1.35 million and I'm here all the time and I charge enough 500, something got to give. I got to go up with this. Would it be sustainable? Would we be able to afford going to events? We're 6 months into the year already, and up to now we didn't even see a little show in Grenada of any magnitude. No big show. At least we used to get Ridica Reggae Fest. Nothing of that sort, and we're into 6 months. We're going into Carnival. So and it ain't looking bright for the rest of the year, like we're gonna get anything. So would it work though? That is my question. So the promoters will have to pay more. that means you have to pay more taxes, etc. Would you be able to afford the ticket prices? That is what I want to know. Would we be would Cartel needs wobbly wobbly a British short shot, not what it put him back in jail, free Walmarts. So, Jan Jan. Jan Jan, but the wobbly knees and breathing hard sold out Barclays was in Miami not so long ago, packed to the brim. And he's supposed to be at the O2 in London. Heard that is also going to be a sold out event. So people are still paying money. But my thing is, as with everything else, it's gonna run out. Because I mean, he's fresh out of prison, he's hot on the market now. So far as I'm concerned, Cartel is taking advantage of, because he understands there is a shelf life to this. People ain't gonna pay that sort of money to see me once I way out. The same, remember when Buju came out and Buju did his freedom tour, walk to freedom all over the place? We flocked up place. And because I mean, being incarcerated for all these years, you're out now. It makes people want to see you. People want to hear what you have. So far as I'm concerned, Cartel is raking in everything he can now, because he understands that this is not gonna last forever. I'm sure if he were to do the same thing next year, he probably wouldn't get the same, because people would have already seen him. And if the prices remain the way they are, people are okay, nope, I'm not gonna do this. He sold out Barclays twice, back to back. So is it something that, one thing people don't like is people knowing their worth? And there was also the argument that, oh, he got 90% of the money. Was it 900,000 plus US dollars? If he loved the fans, and I saw somebody else doing that, that these artists, I think the same gentleman said it, it's not about no love. Listen, we just get tricked out here all the time, eh? We always say in artists, oh, we're doing it for the love. Once there's money involved, there might be a little bit of love, but the love does not overshadow the money part of it. Because if there was any love, and I really want to, I'm already in the country, right? I'm here with everybody that's supposed to be here. It's not like I was in the US or was somewhere else and all of this happened before I had the opportunity to land in Trinidad. The man was there. And at no point in time, he said, you know what, I got 900 already. That's more than half. Let me, because I love them, I'm supposed to do a 2-hour show. Let me give them a half an hour. Let me give them an hour. Let me show their face, knowing that there are people who didn't have the money. They found the money to buy those tickets to see Cartel. So if it was for the love of the art form and love of what, ain't no love in none of this. It's about money, point blank, period. He's getting paid and he's showing up. At the end of the day, they had a contract signed which stated he was going to be paid $1.35 million, and he did not receive the rest, and he decided he was not going to perform because he didn't get a balance of his money. So he ain't going on no show without the balance of his money. Whether you love, you don't love, he couldn't care less at that point about fans, about AC, about whoever it is. So we had to start understanding that this is a business. They might love what they do, but they're not doing it for the love. They're doing it because it's a business. It's how they survive. It's how he buy Tesla truck. It's how he buy a G-Wagon. It's how he buy 2 houses facing each other, one for himself and the children, one for he and the fiance, and the children on the other side of the little pond. All that is for him to live good. So if that's what he's worth, and a promoter decides, like he said it, a couple million in your city to see. That was one of the first songs he released. A couple milli to see him. And he said it himself in his message that everybody can't afford him, and he's okay with that. But his price is his price. But there's no way under the sun. Even if you do the maths, and I was listening to, what's his name? Anil, whatever. No matter how much you juggle the math, you break the math, you upside the math, how are you making back that money? Like, tickets were sold. What was the price of the tickets? Yeah, that's, of course, what's his name? We had our share with, was Mikey Spice up in Moonlight City. Little Mikey's, little venue thing. Up, was Mikey Spice, right? Mikey Spice in Moonlight City. The man was already there. He reached and he don't perform because he didn't get the rest of money. According to them Jamaican, he didn't get the rest of cabbage. So the man decided he not performing unless he get the money. It is a standard practice that you get your money, half of it, whatever before, and then you land, and they don't want no wire transfer, they don't want no bank, they want cash. You have to find the cash and hand them the money wrong as a old, not $1 shot. Nothing more, nothing less. You have to hands up your money. So it's a standard practice. It's nothing new. That is how it's done. Anybody in the promotion business, you can call and back me up. That's how it's done. You get your money up front, and when you come, sometimes some may want it before they reach, or when they reach, the manager collect the money, they check the money, make sure everything is in order, they sign off, and you're good to go. So they did all of that, and well, the pre part of it, the 900 plus, and he didn't get the rest. And he decided, I mean, I can't vex. There are people who are upset. I mean, if you look at it, at the end of the day, it's a business, and you have to set precedent. Because if you were to do that with one promoter, next thing you hear another promoter say, well, then to get the man and promoter Trinidad a blight. And according to him, they gave that promoter several blights because his manager wanted all the money, so and so time. And he asked the manager to ease him up because according to him, he knew the promoter before, whatever. So he asked him for an ease up. So with the ease up came all of that. So it's like a double-edged sword. On one hand, you give a man a blight and you say, you know what? All right, like here already, I'm going to perform. Next minute, the next promoter up the road, because promoter, everybody talk. Next, this promoter tell that promoter and that promoter. And before you know it, you hear, well, and you gave so and so a break, why you can't give me one too? So the man decide that Canadian promoters, please wait until cartel price reach down to 1 million Jamaican dollars. I think all they saying about cartel day. We say that we need to realize that there's no doing it for no love in this industry. They're doing it because they love it, but not because they love you, the patrons. It's love off the art form, which can afford them a particular lifestyle. So we have to get that part. We have to get that part out of the way. Because I saw a lot of posts saying he was already in Trinidad. Why didn't he just perform? Why didn't he just perform since he was there and, to show some love to his fans? The man say, Trinidad, I'll see you the next time a promoter decide the promoter book me and everything, whatever. The man's supposed to have cartel money since February, in the end of May. The man ain't come to play with no money, I'm telling you. So now I'm sure there are other artists who's looking at this and who might be inclined to give a promoter a break. No, it's no break. So like our break done, and it's business at the end of the day. It's either you hands up my money or you don't have my money. I have no problem sitting down in my house and putting my foot up on my balcony and sipping on something. Alex says they're doing it for money, not for people, but without fan support, they are nothing. Well, that might be so, but I don't think they really care too much about tickets were 3,000 TT. So imagine in VVIP was 2006, regular was 600. Okay. Someone says Beyonce's price is her price, right? Yeah, you can afford Beyonce. Why do you think Beyonce can even touch the sand in the Caribbean unless she came on her own on some private island somewhere? Because we can't afford it. You just can't. You have to break the bank several times over, and plus the amount you have to charge for tickets. It's how many of us are willing to pay that amount for tickets? So it's a double-edged sword. As Irish and Chin said, it has opened a can of worms, and I'm not too sure how that will help the entertainment industry. It will be some interesting times ahead for entertainment and artists and what have you. I mean, it's already, not at its best, but this will definitely have them pausing for a minute before signing any contract. So yesterday's price is definitely not today's price. That is one thing for sure. Stop booking the teacher with student money. Exactly. The man said that from jump. To get cartel in your city is a couple milli. He didn't say a couple hundreds, a couple thousands. He said to get cartel in your city is a couple milli. He said it in his song. So me know why people taking the man for a joke. That is, there were tickets for 5,000 TT with backstage access, etc. Okay. Poor Uncle Waggy now. We can't go see artists for $50 on football again. I ain't like that. Um, Brand says, Runes, it has been confirmed that the contract was full payment upfront. Okay, it's business. Cartel's management stuck to business, even if Cartel was trying to bend the rules for Jacko. Then the Trinidad government and all of the rules. It had too much going on with this show and promoters. Cartel is now a big global brand. He's now on Beyonce level. He's gonna get what he asked for. Of course, that's what I'm saying. That's what he said. Every promoter can't afford him. There are some who probably can, and there are some who can't. And we've seen him booked for other events. He was in Barbados. He's supposed to be in St. Kitts. What other? He was in Guyana. Who else? Who else? And they didn't have any issues where money. And never heard anything in the media stating he wasn't paid, didn't get paid. As a matter of fact, he was on stage, so that means everything was sorted out. He was okay money wise. He was paid what he was supposed to get. So this whole show in Trinidad was doomed from day one. Like he had a jumbie over that show. From since he put it on this Carnival Friday, and it was like, oh, you go put on one Caribbean festival, Carnival Friday, the most important Friday in the Trinidad calendar, Friday before Carnival, and you have a one Caribbean festival, and it made it seem as though like the man said he's an entertainer. All the booking for him to go in school and, like he said, putting him at loggerheads with the Trinidad government, he didn't sign up for all that. He probably was just going to do the man a favor, blah blah blah. But like he said, he's an entertainer. His job is to go on stage and sing. He didn't sign up for all this going school and go here and go there and what or the other. And next thing he end up in problems with the government of Trinidad, because there's something in Trinidad concerning US dollars. You can only get a limited sum amount. So now they're investigating where all this money came from, the 900 plus US came from. So this, like, it literally opened a can of worms. It's, let's get Lotto to bring him. Don't go argue, Rasta, do that, brother Steve. You can't give them that headache. Well, I don't stress it. Whenever he has a concert, the next day I go on YouTube and it's there. Somebody already recorded it and put it up live and direct. All of the concert that he has done and I wish to see went on YouTube, put it up on my TV screen, and I sit down and watch him for free. So, what Janice say, Caribbean people kept him relevant. We played the jailhouse music, we kept him in the news. Cartel shouldn't do Caribbean fans like that. At the end of the day, which is night, the man said to get Cartel in your city is a couple milli. And if you can't afford him, leave him alone. The man never come out here with no hand stretch saying he broke some paparazzi and seen trouble and he taking anything, he destitute, he desperate. Since the man in prison, he been making money, he come out, he making even more. Imagine he be able to relocate to the US of A, bought 2 houses, and I know them house and cheap. And I think when he did the concert, the Freedom concert thingy last, was it New Year's Day, December, whatever. Wasn't he paid like some 5 million US, something like that? So the man making any money. Yeah, the man making money. And I heard that he's supposed to go in Africa as well. So the man book, Cartel and worried, We more worried than Cartel. Cartel is not worried at all. Cartel know he bread butter on the side, in the middle, on the end, on the edge. Bread, he and have no problem eating well and living large. Because the money coming in. So he does not have a problem at all. He does not have a problem at all. Um Yours Rachel self asking me about if I see Ivani video and yeah, Papa, I see them. I live on the Jamaican metaverse, so nothing happens in Jamaica misses me. I'm fully invested on YouTube, fully invested on TikTok. So I heard them talking about it, and they say where to go and look for it. Papa, I see one, and I exited fast and quick and fast. Ivani, stick it girl tormented. I've never seen somebody lucky and tormented so in my life. But that is a whole different story. Y'all don't know, those who don't follow the Jamaican metaverse wouldn't know what I speak of. Anyway, let me go about my business. Brand says Trinidad government on ish. There is no way the bank will release the details with the client transfer of funds. That is old talk. They need to compensate the promoter all their restrictions and how people can't smoke weed in the concert. Or yeah, they've been, listen, like I said, this been doomed from, because the other day, you remember they cut his itinerary when they came out with his visit to schools and what have you, and the minister made it, oh, he ain't supposed to, and he's not this. Outer timing remarks completely. Outer timing, they outer timing, bad, bad, bad. It's like they don't understand how this thing works. Like they're a different part of the Caribbean. They don't understand how this thing works. So from then till now, it has been one thing or the other. And here we are now. Here we are now with Scratch and all you have cartel, so playing cell phone hits and the radio. Listen, the Bajans can't even afford to host a show with their very own Rihanna. Just think about it. But how they afford they afforded Cartel and many other artists. Cartel's a multimillionaire and global brand. He's gonna get all he asked for restoration time, of course. Plus, he has his other investments, Street Vibes rum, that rum, whoever rum, all the other brand deals that he has. He's not. No, he's not destitute. He's not. He's okay. He's very, very okay. He's very okay. So at least I should say kudos to, is it Island Tickets and Frontline Ticketing? They're refunding patrons, and I think that was a very, very, very good gesture because in one of the releases they stated after closely examining what happened, investigating what happened, it's safe to say the patrons did not get what they paid for, so they're refunding them.
Hello?
Hey, morning.
Morning, Aruna.
Hi.
Trinidad, yeah, what I'm saying is Trinidad minister want to put all these restrictions. What about all the crime that happened there?
Well,
They're not even studying to seek that interest, but they want to put all this restriction on cartel. Anyway, people have a good day. My boots ready for Power 95.
Trapped in the 90s. You always get what you pay for.
Of course.
Have a good one. Yeah, you don't forget to come in trap. We ain't had no setup. We ain't charging all your big money. Come and have a good time on your show to get what you paid for. Yeah? So organize all yourself. Thank you so much there for reminding me, caller. That is an awesome gesture. Yeah, there are people who say they borrow money. They take small loan. They want to see cartel by the hook or by the crook. They do without, they make sacrifice. They did without certain things just to be able to purchase a ticket. And then to go in this somebody said to go and see to see what's she name? Lady Lava singing about him. You already know he's not no Bob the Builder. But to see Lady Lava come and tell him, come on, hurt your feelings for. Anyways, that's it. Over the years, Cartel has showed little respect for islands and the Caribbean. He scammed promoters in Guyana and Vinci twice, respectively, and blamed it on contractual issues. He never returned the deposits or any payments. Even went on to block his artists from coming to SVG. He really needs to learn to respect the islands and be humble. Well, if that's the case, and we're still booking him, then the problem is us, not him, because he ain't go to no promoter go to him. So we are the problem, right? Anyways, guys, have a great day. I'll see you all tomorrow, God's will. Thanks so much for powering up. Thank you so much, Nirvana, Beacon Insurance, Western Union, Pandora. And of course, remember, don't forget, we're getting ready to be trapped in the 90s. So organize yourself, get your tickets, and let's have ourselves a good time. Girl says she an ugly man for a whole week to get the money and cartels. Oh, Lord.